So, as I was saying, we are going to be seeing the Everyday Arches bundle. Here we go. It is back in stock. And I know some of you have grabbed it when I announced that it returned. So I thank you. Candy and Sandy are back, and Tony's back. Hello, everyone. So I want to thank you for that. And I just want to all let you know that the upcoming catalog will be released very soon. And as always, if you are a customer of mine, if you have purchased within the last 6 months, which would be not August, October or so, from then on, if you have purchased at least $50, you will definitely are on my list to get a catalog. If you are close enough to me to pick up your catalog, I'll put a little goodie in there for you. And for the rest of you who live a distance away from me, and you're not going to drive up from Chicago to pick this up, which is okay, I'll be mailing them to you. Otherwise, for those coming to retreat, I can bring them along then. Unless you want it earlier, just let me know. Karen's going, woohoo! I know the new catalog's coming in. They've got some goodies in there. I will tell you right now, since I did get to peek at it, I don't even have mine yet. Remember that your annual catalog is your core product. So all of your papers, all of your inks, everything like that is in there. And it's just not filled up with new stamp sets like it used to be 10 years ago. So it is a little different. The layout's back to normal. Everybody will be happy to hear that. And we'll go through it when I can. It will be sent out mid-April, and the catalog goes live, I believe, on the 5th of May, or is it the 6th? Something. It has that 5-6 vibe going on there. So around that first weekend in May, or first week of May, and my retreat's first weekend. So you guys will get your caddies before it goes live. So again, tonight we are highlighting the Everyday Arches, and I'm going to bring back those Storybook Moments designer papers to play with. So it's spring, and that's the perfect designer paper to play with. So I'm also going to show you how I used my color coach. So we've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. So on that note, I best get going. So Everyday Arches will bring that out. I'm going to slide my color coach over because I think that's actually for the last card. I've got my block ready for my stamp, and that's the reason that I have this all packed up yet, because I wanted to show you. Okay. So this is photopolymer, so you're going to like that. And then you have 10 Arches dies. I love it. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use these tonight. But I'm also asking you if you would like to see a class, because I've got a plan for some fun folds and a technique that these would work great with. So let me know if you would be interested in a class with the Everyday Arches. Okay. So again, there's 10 of them. You're going to see that I actually marked mine 1 through 10, 10 being the largest, 1 being the smallest. Makes sense, right? So I did that. And I'm going to start with a crumb cake card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 5 1/4. You guys know that song, right? So we're going to take this and fold in and get your going folder out. Ooh, yes, I'm using my glass mat tonight, so it's going to snap a little. I'm not used to that. But it's going to work great for showing you how this works. Okay. Now, my front piece here normally is the 4 by 5 1/4, but I use the largest of the, I'll get the name out yet, the deckled rectangle dies for this one. I just thought it would look cuter with those images. And I'm going to set this over here so that it quits slapping. So I liked the border better than just the plain one. So we're going to get this, set that right there, because next thing I want to do is, here's my arch. I believe this is size number 6. Yep. But you can use any one you want. And this is that fun timeless plaid that's sold in the same suite as the rest of the storybook stuff. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to use the You Are Simply Fantastic. One of the nicest things about, besides being able to see with your photopolymer, is that they can move. You can move these a lot easier than you can with your other pieces. So I'm going to take a little washi tape here. I'm going to stick it to me so it doesn't stick too much on my cardstock. And I want to straighten this out. I'm going to come up a little further for you guys. There we go. Because I just want to hold that down. Then what I'm going to do is take this, and you'll notice that if I just drop it, it kind of curves into my arch. So what I want to do is place this where I want it, and I'm going to bend it up there. And being that it's on this glass, it sticks really nice. So now you can curve that exactly the way you want to, or the size of frame or arch that you're using. Then we're just going to pop this on the top and pull it up. And it's perfect. Now I can pull this off. I'll save that for later if I need it. And I'm going to attach this. Right, I'm going to bring this in right about there. I want to make sure I have enough room for my greeting. So before I push it down, I want to, okay, I'm good. There we go. Hi, Cheryl. I'm going to bring in my pad here because we are working with photopolymer, and we are going to ink this up with crumb cake. Get that nice and juicy. I like inking this way because I don't get my black so dirty. There you go. And up here. And now you can really see, let me move this up. You can really see how you can line that up really nicely. We'll push that down. Dawn has joined us. Hello. Just going to hold that down till it soaks up into our paper. There we go. And now we're going to use some of our fun little creatures, because the cards don't have to take long to make. So we're having a little fun with this. All right. I'm going to get this little guy. I got her and him and a little fence, and they all pop out. These are coming over here. She's going to be in front of the fence, and he will be behind the fence. Isn't that cute? He's bringing her flowers. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on her. And then I'm going to line this back up again. And get my fence where I want it. And then her. And my fingers are in the way. There we go. Because I'm going to pop that all up. And then where do I want him again? Right about there. He's just going to get adhesive right up there. It's okay if I go off just a little bit because this is a little bit smaller than our card front. Okay. Let's pop this up. This will hold our fence down as well. And I need just a little sliver. So when it comes to slivers, I like to use the minis because they have this great border around here. And this is just perfect for my fence. Okay, Linda, and your dimensionals will stick better if you take the backs off. Did anybody catch that? All right. There's our two little guys there. All right. And always need a little bling bling. So I'm working with all three cards tonight are going to get the brass butterflies. So we're going to stick them up in here. Guess they're so quiet again tonight. But I am happy you could join me. There we go. Three little butterflies. He's bringing her a bouquet of flowers. So I have my inside here. And I cut that out as well with the deckled rectangle dies. Just to add a little fun. Karen said, been there, done that. Yeah. We do that sometimes, don't we? There we go. There is card number 1. And the main reason behind showing you this simple card was just to show you how easy it is to get those words wrapped around your arches perfectly. So card number 1, and we're done. All right, card number 2. So on this one, I decided I was going to show you how to make frames. Not too hard to do. You just take 2 of these and, of course, die cut them together. So this is what I did with this one. And I did that with Mossy Meadow. And now I have 3 little pieces here I can use for another card. And in the order to save time, I fussy cut these little rabbits offline so you didn't have to watch. And these are from the designer paper as well. And my happy Easter here, this comes from the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera pack. So I did notice that this is carrying over into the new catalog. So excited to see that because these are really cool. All right, we are going to head back. I'm going to flip these upside down. Just also want to let you know that I embossed my white piece here, which is just 4 inches by 5 1/4, because of course my white here, oh no, that one's actually smaller because I did a mat with this. So A2 card again, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Scoring that down there. Mat is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this piece here, which is embossed with the embossed brick, is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to take that little piece of my dimensionals here, and I'm going to cut all these little pieces. I love that they give you this nice, long, skinny piece. I think I pulled too much off here. Pulled the backing off too. What I should have did, ladies and gentlemen, was just pre-done this too, right? Unless you want to talk to me, tell you how your day's been going, and do that while I put these dimensionals on here. It's nice to see how everybody's doing. How's your Tuesday? There we go. Get one down here. It really doesn't take that long, does it? Nicole says, hello, I made it. Welcome. We are working with everyday arches tonight. And the Storybook Friends designer paper. Everybody's watching me put these little dimensionals on. Again, next time I'm doing this ahead of time. There we go. One more and we're done with that. But they look really cute lifted up, so that's why I thought I would do this. All right, let's get that on there. At least I pulled all the backs off. Now the big guy here, he's going to be a little bit bigger. Oh, I got some hanging off here. And I definitely do not want that sticking out. So we're going to trim that off. Oh, Karen said I reminded her that she had to have the storybook paper and now hasn't played with it. Oh yeah, get it out. These little bunnies are adorable. Okay, so we're going to put those little bunnies right there. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess because I wasn't sure where it was going to stack up on there. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive back on here because my little bunnies, I'll flip it that way. There we go. These are so cool. And with that brick, it almost looks like, you know, a building. There are so many things you can do with these arches dies. So he's cute because he's kind of sticking out on this side, but he's tucked in on there. So you're getting that little bit of added dimension. We're going to get these all lined up, tucked in there. Did I not pull off the backs? Girls. That's 2 times in a row. Okay. Okay, we're doing 2 for Tuesday tonight, I see. Yep. Twice we forgot to pull those up. There we go. Get them out of the way. All right. This guy needs a little twist here. I see he's a little crooked. It's better. That's better. Okay. Now we're going to get our bunnies in. Hi, Jane. And we can go back. And I'm going to use dimensionals to pop these guys up. And this guy's going to go here. Doesn't really matter where you put them. It's all your preference. So if you like them all on one level, you can do that, or you can just have them sitting wherever they look cute to you, right? This guy will go down just a hair. Did you get it? Just a hair. Oh gosh. Send this girl home. And we are going to put our little Easter right up here. So I'm going to put one dimensional down here. And I'm going to use a little one. Let's get our take your pick tool and put that down there. And then we'll grab a big one and put that, whoops, on the other side. Everything's removed. That'll pop up right around there. Okay. Now for a little bump of color. You wouldn't have to. If you like that white on white look, you can do that. There. And that's what that 1/8 inch does. Give you just that little, and I mean little, pop of color. But I like it. All right. And now, because we have our greeting and our bunnies popped up and our frames, I am just putting my front directly onto the card base. And there we have card number 3. I'm going to have to stick a piece up there. So after I'm done here, one up there because he's not holding very good. So number 2 with our cute little bunnies. Aren't they cute all framed up like that? Love it. And then I've got 3 little pieces I can make for another card. Okay, and I got one more. So I wanted to show you one more thing that's really easy to do. We're going to take a card base. This one is 11 by 4 1/4. And we're folding it in half at the 5 1/2 point. Okay. And you want to make sure that you get this one burnished really nice. I don't like that smacking noise though. And we are going to take the biggest of our arches. So this is number 10. And we are going to put that slightly above. Now, if you look at the back of these, the cut part of it is right at the edge. And that's good to know because I still want my little stitching marks, but I don't want that cut through. So you can put it up pretty far and still get a cut. And once you run that through your die cutting machine, then this is what you're going to get. So you will have a foldable card in the shape of your arches. So cool, right? So here it is, die cut. See, I still got my stitching. And if that scares you, if you don't think that's big enough, you can drop it down because for my first layer, I am going to layer all these fun colors on here. So we have our bubble bath, which reminds me of Mr. Bubbles for anybody in that age generation there. And then I chose, because we went with the analogous colors, which is over here. So spin that to the colors you want to go to. And maybe I'll do a little video on how this whole thing works. But for tonight, we're just going to go look at our analogous colors, which is colors that are next to each other. So they're grouped like the reds, red, orange, red, violet. I'm choosing red, violet. And I went with the bubble bath and berry burst. Okay, so that's how I used the color chart. And they're really cool. They do not include the in colors because if they would have done that, then it makes it obsolete. So they chose not to put the in colors in, but you know, you can find some colors that are pretty close to those and would be easy to use. Okay, so when I cut my base here, I wanted to cut the first largest piece here at the same size. So this is also number 10. And then I wanted to go down the line, and you could see 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I actually took number 7 die and cut it right out of my 10, because your other colors are going to be covering that as well. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so as you layer them, there is, and this is just every one. So 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Every one, so you get a nice border. However, if you want to do a border that has large enough that you get one of your words on there, so if you want to get that, you can do that as well. So there's 101 ways you can layer your paper. Here, let's do this so it looks a little better. Although you're not going to stamp on this one. Well, you could do white embossing powder, right? But you have so many options when you're playing and layering with these. So let's get to, I need my smallest one. We'll put that one up there because right now we're just going to layer. So let's put our card together. Just going to layer. This one I want to get on really nice and tight. And I'm going to start at the bottom. You can use glue too, because that allows you to move a little more when you're applying your layers. You know what I mean? If you're worried about getting it all straight. So on here, I'm just going to go right around the inner rim because I don't want the adhesive to stick on the outside. You just want to, whoa, this is a juicy one. I just changed it. Who knew they'd be juicy, right? Okay, we're going to layer this one on top. Get that nice pop of color. Our next one. Now it doesn't matter. Just get it on there. Layer it up. And I love the little stitching because it gives you that nice texture on your card. So you're going to have texture and dimension with this, with all these cute layers. And you could do any colors you want. You could make baby cards like this. There we go. And now we're going to do our front. So this is going to be our back. Oh, ladies, I forgot to put butterflies on card number 2. So don't let me forget. We'll go back with that. So I'm going to take our bubble bath. And we are going to bring out our brush here. I want to add a little bit of that color. Bubble bath, very light. There we go. I'm going to start right about there and just go out a little bit. I don't want a lot. Just a very soft bit of color out there. There we go. And what that's going to do is help pop my little bunny. She is adorable. Okay, so she's going to go right about there. Then what I'm going to do, we get our greeting on. Can do that. The hello comes from Everyday Arches. Inking this up here. Being careful because it looks like something's stuck on there and I don't want that on my card. Okay, let's bring that back in. Our stamp. Hello, right up there. Wonderful. I love font on this. Bold and bright. Now we got just a little pink, kind of highlights that pink in her ear. And now what I'm going to do is just take this and I'm just going to make a few little dots around my bunny. Maybe one more. Don't want a lot. Just something to add a little interest, a little more. And then we're going to do our wink of Stella in here. So I'm going to go once with Stella. And then where I did Stella, I'm going to go over the top again. So it pops a little better. I'm not even sure if you guys can see that wink of Stella. It is very subtle. But when you see the card, and you can see that little bit of glitter there. Isn't that cool? Sometimes you don't have to use a lot in order to make something impressive, right? Just a little bit. Oh, Cheryl got her cataract surgery. She can see again. Good. I'm glad to hear you are healing nicely. I'm going to put our little bunny right back in there. And we popped her up so she has a lot of dimension. We can move this. And our little bunny can now go onto the front of our card. And you can decorate the inside any way you want. Whoops. I did not on this one. Now look at how that little bit of pink really pops on the front of our card. And then those little dots of our berry burst, just to pull them all together. And now we're going to add our butterflies. So we are looking for, and he was sliding up, there he is. Or take your pick tool. Tony loves it. Thank you. And I was a little worried about those silvery looking wink of Stella marks with my gold butterflies, but you know what? It looks good with our little bunny. So I'm going to move this over just a hair, and we'll put this one here, and then we'll get our little butterflies over here. We're going to go up in here, in the middle, and one little one above the Happy Easter, but he's not going the way I want him to. There we go. So easy to use, especially when you're working with these designer papers that have all this fun stuff on it, right? I mean, these make it easy to do quick cards. So we got our little couple here that are simply fantastic. And then we have a Happy Easter card. And then we have our little bunny that just says hello. So if you are, wanting to touch base with a friend, and we're so sick of sitting in the house over the summer or winter, right? It's time to get out and have some fun. There are our 3 cards. And I want to thank you all. Dimensions, again, are so easy, but when I get this posted, I will have them with that. But again, they're all A2 size cards. Even this one will fit in a regular envelope because, of course, it was cut from a regular A2 size card. So not to worry about that one. There we go. If you have any questions, just message me. And I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.